Stuff everywhere here. Let's see. Yeah. A little painting this morning. Somebody popped in. Cool. Ah. Been 3D printing like crazy since I got a 3D printer, and now I'm trying to get some stuff painted so I'm not just making piles of stuff to do. So it all has a purpose, though. It all has a purpose. Working on some stuff, different projects. Got a bunch of projects in the works, so I should be getting a commission for miniatures today, hopefully, if the Postal Service doesn't fail. No promises. And and then I got an ongoing commission that I'm working on, but I have time on that one. But I like to get them done. I don't like them hanging over my head, so I'm definitely plugging away at all my stuff. But I figure I get some of this stuff, try to get some of this stuff more painted, so I don't have as much stuff just laying around. I have enough of that, so it's kind of, I think, a trap you can fall into, especially with 3D printing, because you can just keep printing stuff as long as you have filament, which I'm gonna have to change my roll on the current print I'm working on. So I might have to run downstairs and do that. Yeah, that one's okay. Hey, Shellback, I'm painting some 3D printed trees right now. That's on the agenda. I'll have to go check on them. I have stuff outside right now that I'm priming. All part of the same project. It's just this guy here. Sorry about the lighting. I said it's not that great, but I can't live stream from where I normally paint from, because the cell reception there is in that part of the house is not good. So I learned that the last time I was trying to do live streams, and just not good. So I gotta do it up here. I just sort of figure out the lighting situation. So I get these painted, and then I have to do all the canopy stuff, like the foliage and stuff. But I don't have the material to do that on hand, so I'm gonna have to. That'll have to wait until I can pick it up. Well, I take that back. I have half the material I need to do that. I don't have all of the material. That's good enough. Hey there, Crash Out King. The big project is working on a table so we can run Rangers of Shadow Deep at a convention. CNY in Central New York. My friend Roger heads that up, and we're going to try to put on this miniatures game. We want to add a miniatures game to the roster of great games that are played there. So I have Rangers of Shadow Deep. I've never played it, but I'm going to start, and then we're working on a specific. We're expanding one of the missions to make it so it'll be like, I think he said what we'll do is we'll have 6 players. They'll each play a ranger. They won't have any companions, but we'll expand the scenario out. Like the board's gonna be like 4 feet by 6 feet, so it'll be a little bit longer than it calls for in the write up for the excuse me, for the mission, that particular mission. It's mission 3, I think. I don't know. I'd have to look at the book. But yeah, so that's what I'm working on. And then the great thing is all this stuff, it'll end up getting used in my home games and stuff, role-playing games. So it's not a one and done thing by any stretch of the imagination. We'll get plenty of use out of it. Between using it at the con and my home games, my son's home games, he runs games for us. Actually running a game tonight for us. And yeah, it'll get plenty of use. Yeah, it's weird. Like, we have 5G here, but I'm a tech idiot, so I don't know a lot about that stuff. But my son was telling me that we don't have 5G throughout the house. Like, it doesn't go through the walls very well, so we have to fix that. In the basement, I'm only getting like 2G, which so when a while ago I did like, I don't know, 3 live streams, just trying to reach out to folks and have fun with YouTube, and my reception was really bad in the basement. I mean, I'd stay connected, but the volume would be really bad. So I just stopped doing it, and then it wasn't until recently I've been with Roger and crew on our Tuesday night stream, and that's worked pretty good for the most part when my laptop's kept up. I'm on my phone right now. My laptop's a piece of crap, but it's old and a lot of miles on it. But it seems to work better up here, so that's good. I just have to be careful not to get any paint on my wife's dining room table. Otherwise, she will kill me. Lynch me. She will not be happy. I'm actually amazed she didn't say anything about it when she saw me painting here, but she didn't. And I can't really blame her because I do tend to get paint everywhere, so I come by that criticism rightly, I guess. Yeah, and YouTube's weird, Shellback. Like I've had videos, and I mean I've been where the reception's best in my house. I've had videos that have taken literally an entire day to upload. Like, it's ridiculous. I've had, I think at least a couple times I've had to just like cancel them and then start over because it's like, I think I had one that took more than a day to upload. It was just really wonky. And I know from talking to Bloodworth, he's had that issue in the past too, where it just takes forever for some time. And then other times, like I think I uploaded one this morning. I did a recap for my son's Dragon Slayer session that we played the other night, and I think it jumped right up onto YouTube. I don't know. I don't know if there's like a peak time to upload them, or it's just, you know, the luck of the draw, really. I don't know. Like I said, I'm a tech idiot to begin with, so my whole YouTube thing really started. I mean, I've had YouTube channel for years, but doing the gaming stuff, that really only started as a means for personal record for our campaigns. I didn't really go into it with the thought of trying to like build a channel. I just wanted. I used to do recaps for our games, and I would write them out, and it would take me a day to do it. They were very detailed. And when I started my CNC campaign, I did one, and I was like, I don't want to do this, and because it just takes up so much time. So I just like, well, maybe I'll just record a video, and started doing it. And then people started following along, which isn't something I expected to happen. These are from Printable Scenery. They're part of not, I think it's the King and Country campaign. They're the oak trees. I think, yeah, they're pretty good. They printed up really well. There's 3 different sizes. So this is the biggest one. This is the medium size one. And there's one that's smaller, and I haven't printed any of those yet. I will. I think when I'm done with the hills, I'll probably do a plate of those. I'm trying to get all this stuff printed, partially because, I mean, I have time, but like I also want to like mess around with the layout of the board, because like I said, we're changing a bit of how the written mission works. And one of the big things about the mission is you're supposed to be really breaking up the character's line of sight. So we got hills, and we got these different size trees and stuff like that. So I want to get as much of it printed, so I can start messing with the layout a little bit. But I haven't printed those small trees yet. I will, though. I should have got, damn it, I should have got that bone color. That would have worked. Oh, thanks. Yeah, this shirt's awesome, huh? Hyperborea. Beard work is spot on. My wife would not say the same thing. She's not a fan, but I spent most of my life being told how I could dress and how I could have my hair, and once those circumstances ended, so did any of those stipulations. Well, I could paint that tree, I guess. I started it, I might as well finish it. Yeah, they are pretty cool. Like, they look good, and I mean, you could do so much more with these too. I don't know how far down the rabbit hole I'll go with them. I am going to like put moss and stuff on the top, and then flock them so they look like they have a full canopy. Like I said, they got to break up line of sight. But I mean, you could get really in the weeds with like the ground cover and everything like that. I don't know if I'll do that. They look pretty good as is. And I think they'll work okay with some of the stuff I already have. If not, I think they'll be fine. But I may need more of them. I think I printed about 8 so far. And like we're trying to fill a 4x6 board. But part of that board is going to have a river and a bridge on it, which I've already painted. Printed and painted this thing here. So I painted this up, printed it, then painted it. One of my first projects. I got thinking about this thing the other day too. Like yesterday I was playing Skyrim, and it looks like one of the Skyrim like little bridges, you know, of the myriad of rivers you can find in Skyrim. And I was like, you know what? I could have made this bridge wider. I could have just printed double these pieces and put them side by side, and then yeah, that would have worked. That would have worked. I'm half tempted to make another one of these, because it's a decent width, but some of my bigger miniatures, depending on the base, will have a hard time standing on it. But yeah, really cool piece. This is actually one of many ways you could build this thing, print it out. Really cool. I mean, you could change everything on this, right down to these caps. It was different caps. Yeah, I am. I'm really happy so far with the 3D printing. What I will say though, and because obviously we've talked about it for years. I've wanted one forever, but honestly, I'm really glad I waited until now to get one because they're so much simpler to use. The older ones, you have to spend, from what people I know that have them, you have to spend so much time like fiddling with them to make them work. And that would not work for me. I am not a tech person. That thing would have been probably chucked across my lawn. So this one, knock on wood, has been really good. It was super simple to set up, and it's been running like a fiend ever since I got it. I gave it a little bit of break the other day, but I still ended up printing something. And it's running right now. It's running right now. It's printing me another hill. I wish I had some of those to show you. They're outside drying. So, yeah, there's gonna be a lot of this stuff. I want to kind of do this at least once a week. I'm trying to. It's hard because I got so many friends on YouTube that do lives, and I don't want to, try to infringe on any of their time. So, and I'm usually home during the day by myself. So, like today, right now is a great time because I'm usually just sitting here painting by myself. So it's good to have people to talk to. Keeps me a little bit more motivated to keep painting instead of fart around on the computer or the Xbox or half a dozen other distractions. But yeah, I'm super pumped to have one. Just the possibilities now for what I can do for our, my games at home and stuff are, wow, they just increased by quite a bit. Like I'm always finding cool stuff to, like, oh, I could make this, or I could get this. And I'm actually, like, some of the stuff that terrain that I have, that, like, say I bought it, like WizKid stuff and other, like, stuff like that was kind of like prefabricated. It's good stuff, like, don't get me wrong, but I'm almost like thinking about trying to sell it off or something, and then I could do more of what I actually wanted. I do have, like, and you're obviously, you're familiar with this stuff, like that Epic Haven Castle stuff. I'd love to get rid of that because the stuff that you can print now, you got to get painting because you're building a pile, and it's just going to be a big old pile of white and gray shame. Like, I got stuff printing right now, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to just paint. I got stuff priming out back, and yeah, I need a bigger yard. No, I don't. Every time I mow my lawn, I wish it was smaller, and my yard is not big, and Rooster knows this. Yeah, I just want to keep ahead of it. Like I said, I got projects coming in. I should be, if the Postal Service doesn't bone me like they typically do, I should be getting a commission project in the mail today. So once that happens, I mean, I tend to, when I get a commission from somebody, that usually goes to the top of the chain for getting stuff done. Although I'm not very good about regulating my time, as far as, like, I should also be taking a little bit of time to work on my own stuff too, but usually I don't. So I want to get as much of this painted as I can, or a good start on it. And the nice thing is terrain is way easier to paint than miniatures are. So yeah, a lot of paint. You can just get a little, well, like anything, you can get a little monotonous, but it is what it is. God dang. Yeah, that bridge is really good. I like it. Like I said, I'm actually considering at some point printing another one and making it wider. You can make it longer too, because I didn't put in the middle section for it. Yeah, everything takes time. That's the thing with 3D printing I've found so far, is it's time. But like I've said, if I had to order it from somebody, I'd have to pay the money. I'd have to wait for them to print it, and they're busy, and then I'd have to wait for it to ship. So it's still faster to do it myself. Hey, Paul. Yeah, so it's like it's been a good investment. I can actually see why people get more than one. Like if you're going to do a lot of it, it would have been nice to be able to, cut a day off of printing all these hills that I'm printing right at the moment. Like I have one going now, and then there's one left, and I'll probably like the one that I have going right now will probably be done or should be done just before we start gaming tonight, which will be good. And then I'll start the last one when I go to bed because they're big pieces. They're actually taking a while to print. I think this one's like the one currently is going to be like 7.5 hours. Oh yeah, anything that's the same and you have to do it over and over, it just becomes monotonous. Yeah, I may down the road get another one, Shellback. I'll see how much, like if there's like a novelty that like anything that wears off and I'm like not doing it as much. As much as I paint and stuff, I find that hard to believe it probably won't wear off as much, but we'll see. It's been a great investment though. Yeah, let's do this. Whoa, geez, a little heavy on that one. But I just don't want to have, because I already have like unpainted terrain that I've bought from other people that I haven't finished, and I just don't want to take all this stuff and then all of a sudden just add to that list. So it's nice that this stuff is actually for like a project that I have in the works that I'm a little bit more motivated to get done. Whereas some of my other stuff that's been lying around is just stuff that I bought because I was like, oh, that looks cool, I'll buy that. And then a lot of times it just sits there. Like in my living room is where I assemble a lot of miniatures, and I have a box of GW miniatures on there. I don't remember what they're called. They're actually my son's, and he bought them last year at our local game store. And I know this for a fact because we bought it at the store's anniversary sale, and their anniversary sale is next weekend. And we were looking at those miniatures, and I'm like, it's scary to think that those have been sitting here partially assembled for a year and we haven't finished them. So it's crazy how like that can kind of sneak up on you. Whoops, I should have fixed this. So one of the things you get with printing trees like this, I didn't use any supports. They printed okay. Hey, James, I have a Bamboo Lab, and I'll screw up the model number, but it's like a P1S or something like that. It works good. And the reason I bought it, that particular model, is I have a friend, Mike, who owns Thunderstruck Workshop. He does 3D printing for a living, and he has 4 of them, so he highly recommended them, the bamboo printer. And my friend Roger has one as well, and he really recommended it. And he's been super helpful with me answering my 9 billion questions that I have when stuff comes up. He was answering questions for me this morning because I just saw something that piqued my curiosity. When you splice the plate, it'll give you all this tech information, like how long it takes. But it also, I found out, tells you how much it costs in filament to print whatever you're printing. So that was pretty cool. So like the hill that I'm currently printing, I think costs like $5.29 on average worth of filament to print. Yeah. Oh yeah, Shellback. Yeah, I have so much stuff that I have backed or bought, and it just sits there, and I've given away literally bags and bags of miniatures to friends that paint traded with friends that paint, and it just seems like there's no dent made in there. I have a miniature downstairs. It's a metal Reaper Dragon. They don't even make it anymore in metal. They make it in their bones. I bought that. It's primed. It's assembled in prime, so give me. I have some credit. But I bought that when I was married to my first wife, and that was a very, very long time ago. And it's just sitting there. It's just sitting there. It's a great miniature. I actually think, like, if I ever do get it painted, I will probably use it in like a diorama, because it is a huge. It was like one of their bigger miniatures at the time. They probably make stuff bigger now, but it's freaking heavy. Like, it's a solid metal miniature. So I'm like, that might be a diorama miniature. Filament, yeah, it's a filament printer, James, and I'm using the Bamboo Factory filament. I found out my local Best Buy, they sell bamboo printers, and they sell the filament for them. They sell other filament too, and I would save money that way, but I don't know the quality of it. And Roger recommended the bamboo stuff, and it's worked. I mean, and it's still, it's a little bit more than the other stuff that's being offered there, but it it's been working great. So I'm like, whatever. I'll pay a couple extra bucks for quality stuff. Yeah, crap. I should have probably gone over these trees a bit more. There's some, so you get some stringing on the bottom, because I didn't have to use supports. And how you can fix that stringing to make it kind of look a little bit better is I just ran super glue. I did run super glue over some of them. You could use hot glue or something to smooth it out. But probably when I'm done flocking all these, you won't see that stuff anyway. And if you look that closely and complain about it, well, I'll have to murder your character. That's how I look at it. Not that any of my guys would do that, but man. Yeah, I'm looking at a Kickstarter. It's supposed to launch this coming week. I think maybe this week, from Cyborg Miniatures. They make some really good stuff. I've painted a bunch of their miniatures. Their Kickstarter looks great. I just don't know if I want to get a horde of miniatures lying around that I'm going to have another, add to what is already lying around that needs to be painted. Yeah, I always said that I was going to get both, James. I'd get like a filament printer for terrain and a resin one for miniatures, but I don't think I want to mess with the resin. There's a lot more to it, and it is that toxic. And when they finish, and yeah, I don't know. I think I'll still just rely on people that are better at that than I am. And if anything, I'll get another filament printer. And the nice thing about this one, you could actually do. I mean, I don't know about character miniatures, but you could do bigger miniatures with this. I've seen it. My friend Mike, like I said, who runs Thunderstruck Workshop, he's printed big models with it, and they look great. There's nothing wrong with them, and it's going to be probably way cheaper. I think resin's way more expensive than filament. I don't know that though. It seems like it would be, but yeah, it's just a lot to it. I think a lot more than I want to get involved in it. And you gotta vent it properly, and mine's in my basement, so I don't know how that would shake out. So I think I'll just stick with the filament stuff and be happy that I got it. But, yeah, I got about we're gonna set those aside because yeah, I don't like that. Yeah, everybody is owed, should have time to themselves. I'm married. My son's older; he's 21. So, but I mean, it was kind of easy with my son because he started gaming with us at a young age, so it was easy to include him in our games, and he became a very mature gamer very, very quickly, like way before his age, and so that wasn't an issue. I mean, it was actually really great for us because it helped us bond really well. Um, but yeah, I got friends that don't game because they're doing every weekend they have something going on, and I'm like, no thanks, no thanks. You need some time to yourself, in my opinion. Some people don't see it that way, but and I'm good. My wife, she she could care less. She's like, yeah, go game. How was the game? She's she's fine. She does her own things, and I do my own things, and it's good. Yeah, that'll be good for that. I need this one. Oh, geez, you gotta running the young ones there. That's a fun age, though. That's fun. They're a handful, but it's fun. I enjoyed when my son was little. I enjoy now. I mean, he's an adult and doing his own thing. He's at work right now. But he'll be home later to run us through some Dragon Slayer. Whoops, I should have washed that. Coca-Cola. I haven't had a Coca-Cola in probably 20 years or more. There we go. Last night I was lucky. They had this. I'm going to ShireCon here in the end of September, so we had to sign up for our games. I got into the games I wanted. I'm playing 2 games of Swords and Wizardry with Rob Conley, who I met my first year at ShireCon. I actually bought a couple books off him. He's an old school guy and a super nice guy. And I think I actually did a live stream with him once too. We were on it together, I should say. Probably DM Bloodworth's channel. We were both on, and I wanted to play with him. This is my third time going to ShireCon. Yeah, and I wanted to play with him last year, but he wasn't there. He came down sick, and I missed out on him the year before. I didn't know anything about. I was new. It was my first con, but yeah. So I'm going to play 2 games with him, and then I'm playing a second edition AD&D game with Anthony Merida, who is the guy that heads OSR Con, which was a new con in Mass. 1-day con this year. He did. It was a lot of fun. I went and had a great time. And he's running AD&D. So I'll see DM Bloodworth there. We'll hang out. I'll see Joe the Lawyer there. Probably Eric Tenkar. Eric said he was going. And Joe the Lawyer, the Greyhawk Grognard will be there vending. I don't know if he's running anything or not. I'd like to get into one of his games sometime. Play some Adventurers Dark and Deep because I'm interested in running that system in the future as a possible successor to CNC when that our current campaign concludes. Adventures Dark and Deep is up there as a replacement for that system. I like what I see with Adventurers Dark and Deep. And then after that, I may try, Roger's doing a 1-day con out in New York. I may go out for that. I'd like to. It'd be dependent on the weather. I think it's December 12th. So the weather can be iffy, but I'd like to go. It'd be great to see everybody in person again before next year's CNY. I mean, I see a lot of those guys online because we do podcasts stream together, but on Tuesday nights. But it would be cool to hang out with those guys beforehand, before, yeah, I have to wait until next year for CNY. So I'm hoping to go to that. I'll go out the day before and then stay that night, and then the next night, because the con is, I think it runs from like 10 to 10 or something like that. And I would just stay that night and then leave the next day, the following day. So, yeah, I'm hoping I get to do that. That'll be cool. Oh, that's cool. Shellback. Very cool. I like it. I use the bestiary now all the time in my CNC game. My son uses it too to supplement his Dragon Slayer campaign. The bestiary was the first, well, technically not the first book well, it's the first core book I bought. I met Joe in person at my first time at ShireCon, and I bought the Book of Lost Tables off of him. The current Adventures Dark and Deep wasn't even out, and I didn't know anything about it. So I bought that book because it was just chuck-a-block full of tables you can use, random tables, and then I saw him on his YouTube channel showing off the bestiary, and I'm a sucker for bestiaries. This is my next to, I like bestiaries and setting book, even though I use my own setting. I enjoy setting books. And had to have it, and it is great. It's got like everything in it that you need. Really cool. Really, really well done. If I had any complaint about it, is that it's done through drive-through. And that's my only issue with that is it's a big book, like it's 500 plus pages, and that's asking a lot for a print-on-demand book. Yeah, they're great. Oh yeah, thanks for watching, Bern. I appreciate it. Yeah, I actually got to get ready for tomorrow's show too. We have a topic, and I have done nothing to prepare. I'll do that later. I'll probably do it tomorrow. I have a little bit of time. I'm actually teaching class tomorrow during the day, but I'll be home in time to sort my stuff out for the show. But yeah, I love setting books. I like reading them, checking them out, and then sometimes stealing ideas or just getting inspiration from them. Oh, excuse me. I've been really liking lately and I've used them some, the Raging Swan Press, the indie publisher. And yeah, absolutely right, Shellback. Absolutely right. Great art. Usually, usually better than big productions, especially certain ones. Um, but I've been really digging and I've liked their stuff for years, the Raging Swan Press, but their specific stuff to their setting that Crichton has developed, like the Duchy of Ashlar, and then you have the Citadel on the Wilderness, and um, I have those and a bunch of stuff for them. There's other stuff I don't have the book for the Picaroon Peninsula, which is a nearby pirate isle, it's in my cart on drive through. That stuff's great. They're always doing stuff for it. I've been picking up all the stuff I can for that area. I ran my Shadow Dark foray in that setting using the Shadowed Keep on the Borderlands adventure that they wrote, which is awesome. Me and RPG Grandpa got to get together and do a love fest over Raging Swan Press stuff, because we both are big fans of it. I was invited on their show a couple weeks ago, and it came up. I think we were doing stuff inspirational books that you use, and the Raging Swan stuff, like the Dread Thingamacon and stuff like that, are awesome. My son and I were using them both yesterday to work on our games. That stuff's great. So yeah, we were gonna do a live chat or something talking about them. They're always coming out with new stuff too. I got an email yesterday with stuff that they're coming out for, more stuff in the town of Dulwich, which is where the starting point for the Shadowed Keep on the Borderlands is, and some of the stuff I have, but I guess they expanded on it and polished it up. So I put it in my cart. So I'll grab it the next time I place an order from drive-through. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, why not? Oh, whoops. That was not the one I wanted. The one on here I wanted. Trying to actually curb some of my book buying. Like, I have the issue of I like role playing game books. I like buying them and collecting them and reading them, but there comes a point in time where it's like, well, how much of this stuff am I actually ever going to get to the table? So I'm like trying to be a bit better about that. Like, I don't have an issue with taking an existing game that I have and expanding on. Like, oh, if there's a new book for it, okay, I'll get that. You know, like Dragonbane, one of my favorite games. You know, and if stuff for Dragonbane comes out, I buy it. But like a whole new game, unless it really is filling like a hole in my collection that needs to be filled, that I think needs to be filled, I'm really trying to refrain from just purchasing it because it looks cool. I mean, I'm 55 going on 56 rapidly, and just the odds of me running everything I currently have is pretty slim, let alone adding to that list and getting more stuff. Or just, yeah. Stuff though, because there's a lot of great stuff coming out. Like I always see something. I'm like, oh wow, that looks really cool. That would be so much fun. But then I'm like, when am I going to get to run this? I do that now with the stacks of games I have. I'm like, oh, I'd like to run this. I'd like to run that. Almost becomes like a anxiety-inducing issue. Like, I'm like, oh God, what am I gonna run? What am I gonna run? A lot of times I just leave it up to my. I have recently left it up to my player. I mean, I have my ongoing CNC game, my CNC Hyperborea hybrid, because I use a lot of rules from Hyperborea in my CNC game because Hyperborea is awesome. Well, I'm like, oh, when am I going to get to run this? So I think that's how we ended up playing Shadow Dark. I just kind of threw it out there, and the guys were like, oh, let's play Shadow Dark, because none of them had played it except I was the only one that had ever played it. And so I ran it, and it didn't really win with my group. I liked how easy it was to run. I did like that, but I ran 6 sessions, and we had a pretty high death toll. Like, I think one of my friends, players, Rooster, that was in the comments earlier, he lost like 5 characters. Like, and we were rolling the characters up as rules as written, and I mean they were rolling like just junk. And Wedge, yeah, Star Wars is awesome. I got a whole ton of that stuff that I will never get rid of. Like, I ran Wedge Star Wars for 4 or 5 years. It was awesome, awesome. I would run it again. Actually, I would run that game again. I have run it when before we realized they were going to really suck when the sequel trilogy came out. I ran a couple sessions of Wedge Star Wars because we were all excited for the movies, and I was like, hey, we should play some Wedge Star Wars just to kind of celebrate. And everybody was into it, so I did it. Super fun. But yeah. So yeah, Shadow Dark didn't really sell with us. Like, my son liked it, but he only played in 2 of the 6 sessions at the end. And his character, actually, we had used a different method of rolling, like our standard method, 46, drop the lowest. I am not a big fan of 3d6 down the line or whatever Shadow Dark old school games do. I'm not a fan of that at all because I think it just creates a really dirt farmer. Like, I get it. Some people want to play that. That's fine. Play it. I just don't like it. I don't need like super heroic characters. But if you're going to go out and adventure, like, you probably should be somewhat decent at something. If not, you probably should stay on the farm. But so yeah, it didn't really land with our group. So, which is kind of a bummer because I have Shadow Dark stuff coming from Kickstarters, and it's never going to see the light of day. I have a Shadow Dark version, basically, of Redwall coming, and I backed that. One, it looked like a really good product, and at the time when it came out, I was actually reading the first book of Redwall, or I should say, listening to it I'd never listened to it before, never read it, and I enjoyed it. So I backed that Kickstarter, and now I'm like, we're never going to play that. We're never going to play that. So I actually would like to like find somebody that would want to play it and sell it to them or something, because it does look like a great product. It hasn't arrived yet. I have all the PDFs, but the product itself hasn't arrived yet. I think it's at the printers. I think that was the last update we got. So I got that. I have the Western Reachers coming, which it should have already been here, but it was delayed. So, but we're probably never going to use it because my group just isn't into Shadow Dark. And I think part of my disappointment, like, and I played Shadow Dark and I really enjoyed it. I played, I was with a bigger group, and I had a lot of fun. My first character died, I want to say, in the first session, and then I took one of the pre-gens. It was the Goblin Wizard. I took him and I ran that character until he made it to 8th level. He was the highest level character in the party, actually, and he was a ton of fun. He was weak as hell physically. Like, I rolled 3 of my 3 level ups in a row. I literally rolled 1 for hit points. So like, I was 8th level and I think I had like 15 hit points, but I just had to play him smart. He hung out in the back of the party, and somehow he became the de facto party leader, which was crazy. That at least one of the characters, my friend Caroline, her character like kind of deferred to my character. She was playing it's from one of the Cursed Scrolls. It's like the Reaver Viking type. It was a really cool class. And Oh, there you go. Yeah, it's a super simple game. Like I like it. I just think I would run it differently. You know, I wouldn't use that rolling method. I like how the leveling works. I like all that stuff, rolling every odd level on the random talent table. I think that's great. But it, like I said, it didn't land with my players. I don't think they outright hated it, but like nobody's really, other than my son, who I said only played 2 sessions, has expressed any desire in playing it again. So I would play it again as a player. I mean, I would run it again if somebody wanted to play it. I mean, because it was super easy to run. I mean, it's not a complicated game. And then I was running it with the Shadowed Keep on the Borderlands, very well laid out, fully fleshed out adventure. You know, I just had to read it, and that was super simple. I would run that adventure for another group too. That was a really good adventure. It's a good homage to from the author, the Temple of Elemental Evil, which I get. I have run that, and understand that. Especially the Moat House, the Village of Hamlet, basically. Really good. And I think Keep on the Borderlands, he said too. I've actually never played Keep on the Borderlands, so we didn't use a lot of modules when I was younger. We bought them all, but we didn't really use them. Other than White Plume Mountain. White Plume Mountain, because it had Black Razor in it, probably. We played them multiple times, but I ran a couple here and there, but we mostly always did our own adventures. I guess I could paint those things. Yes. Not raining out, is it? Yeah, that train outside, I just gotta make sure it's not raining. Come on. What the heck? Yeah, I mean, I have whatever they've released for the Western Reaches, but I haven't really looked at it. I have, oh, come on. I have the little pin thing up here. Yeah, I've played that module a few times, actually. Different games. Yeah, we didn't. I ran the Temple of Elemental Evil. We never finished the temple. We did the Moat House and the very beginning of the temple, but we never finished it. And then here or there, I ran maybe parts of other modules, but we never played them too far. I just always liked to. I had a hard time with like running modules because to me, I like the creation process of GMing. It's kind of hard, I think, to GM if you don't. But so when I would read modules, I would like them. Like I'd kind of get inspiration from them, but to like, it felt more like I was studying something than creating. Oh, it is raining. Hold on 1 second. Pardon me, folks. I'll be right back. Oh, it hadn't started here yet, but why risk it? They're mostly dry. They're still a little tacky, but. So these are the things I've been working on. These hills. These are all from Printable Scenery. Excuse me, and they have texture on them for grass and stone and earth. So I primed them brown. I'm gonna dry brush the heck out of them in different browns, and then I'll go over with them probably some grays and greens and stuff to pick out stone and grass. Whoops, I missed that spot. Damn it. Yeah, so far so good. They're pretty big too. They're only getting bigger. Like my first print, I think I did like 3 of them all at once, and now I can only fit one on a bed. I did this one over last night, so it's pretty decent size. If you take a miniature, you know, they're pretty good size. So what we're gonna do is we'll have these obviously on the board, but the whole thing is about breaking up line of sight in this scenario and giving the players the opportunity to play their characters really like rangers, so they'll be like sneaking around and stuff. So, but the nice thing about it is you can take like these pieces and just set them on top. So you can have with even with varied height trees, you'll have like across the board the height will be varied and easy to block any line of sight. So you won't be able to shoot all the way across the board, or it's a big thing in the scenario for the rangers to go unnoticed as long as they possibly can. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But like I said, I got one printing right now, and I have one more, and then I want to say I'll mostly be done printing for this board. Probably not true. I am going to do a batch of the smaller trees, but I think then I need to figure out how there's a river in it, and I need to work that up. That one might actually be a project that I build something for to put the bridge on. I know how I'm going to do the water for it, but I want to lay this bridge on it, and then yeah, so we'll see. We'll see. I got a good jump on it. I've been plugging away at the prints and everything else, so it's nice though with the prints because I can just fire it up and go do other stuff while it's going on, and even go run errands, you know, when I have to. Been nice. So I was like, it adds a lot. Like, and then to think of it, like to build this board, like I have all this terrain. I have trees downstairs, which I may actually end up using to get more and more trees on the table. But I wouldn't have enough. Like I would have to get more. So like all of this stuff I would have had to like purchase, you know. So probably the printer's already paid for itself, which is good. I think that's like you, Shelba, talking about you're playing with your family and stuff. Your nephew, was it your nephew? Nephew, yep. I think Shadow could be good that way, like as a gateway game to get people into other games and not necessarily 5th edition. I know some people use it to wean people off of 5th edition because it has a little bit of familiarity with that, but then it's also different. I don't know. To me, when I ran it, it it really felt more like almost like a funnel, like a DCC funnel. I'm not a really big fan of those, so I was not really happy with like super the super high death toll that we had. I mean, we had 6 sessions, we had 6 character deaths. My buddy Rooster there had 5 of them, and then and he's not, you know, a stupid player. Like it was just, you know, bad luck and crappy characters that like would have no extra rounds on their death timer or anything. Like you'd get 1 and that's it, and it just I don't know. I'm not a big fan of those type of games. I don't have a problem. Ah, damn it. I don't have a problem with, you know, character death and stuff like that, but I don't know, that seemed a bit excessive at times. It's one thing if you're like playing a con game or something. I mean, I play every con game. Like, I expect my character's probably going to die because it typically does. But my home game, and I went into that game also with the mindset of like setting it up to be a possible longer term campaign, and it just didn't. It never, with all the deaths, like it could never get any footing, you know. So I know some OSR style games, they kind of like revel in the character death, but I really don't. I don't shy away from it. I mean, I've killed plenty of characters. We've had plenty of character deaths in a Castles and Crusades game, but it's not like I'm not out there keeping a, you know, putting notches in my GM screen every time I whack a character. Don't like it. Don't like it. It was funny, like Joe Loya. Who's playing 5e? Oh, his nephew's playing 5e right now. We played a lot of 5e, moved on. It was kind of funny because in the comments there, Rooster was one of our game masters too, and he ran 5e for us, and we kind of all moved on. All the guys that were running games kind of moved on after we finished our campaigns to different systems. Our friend Zephyr, he ran Tomb of Annihilation for us. Not my favorite module. He did a great job running it. There's just too much traps and weird puzzles and stuff for my brain. I like investigations. I don't so much of puzzles and traps guy. But he did a great job running that game. Rooster ran us through this crazy everything under the sun. Like, we did the Tyranny of the Dragons, but there was that's short selling it because there was tons of other stuff we did. And he did a great job running that. He just worked in all these different modules and stuff. You know, we started in the Lost Mines of Phandelver, and then just went on and on and on to like old Ravenloft modules and the Sunless. I think we did the Sunless Citadel. He just wove these all together. He did a really, really great job doing that. And but yeah, and I ran my campaign, my previous campaign to it was 5th edition. I think when we were done, the highest level character was like 18th, and it was just crazy to try to manage or challenge those guys. That game falls apart hard at the higher levels, I think. But from what my experience was with it, so I wanted to get out, but then of doing 5th edition. So I was like, once that can't, and I made no bones about it. Rooster can tell you. I was pretty vocal about I wasn't running it anymore once the campaign was over, so I switched to Castles and Crusades, and that's been good. It's not perfect, but it's a good game. The Troll Lords are good guys. I have a ton of other great games, so I want to try to give them as much of a shot as I can, you know. Like Adventures Dark and Deep is if I want to run another like high fantasy level based game, Adventures Dark and Deep is definitely up there on the list. And Hyperborea is awesome. I would want to do Hyperborea in the Hyperborea setting, so I would have to leave my setting. I have some hesitation about doing that because I like what we've done. But I have all the modules, so I might just go on a binge and run the modules for a while after we finish our current campaign, and just to get those, so I can say I ran them. And then yeah, plenty of options. Dragonbane, I have a bunch of Dragonbane stuff. I would like to see Dragonbane played like long term. I've run Dragonbane. I ran a Dragonbane adventure. I really liked it. I play Dragonbane monthly, and we are doing a longer adventure with that. So, I would like to see like a multi-year adventure campaign with Dragonbane to see how that shakes out, because I really like that system a lot. Probably my favorite system, hands down. And I have more Dragonbane stuff coming. I have Dragonbane Trudvang coming, and miniatures and whatever. I have the setting book, actually. They come out with they're printing their original setting in English for the first time, so I backed that. That's where the two official adventure campaigns are set. The one from the box set, and then the Path to Glory hardcover book. Yeah, I mean, there's really good stuff. Yeah. Let me try this. Yeah, moving always sucks. I don't remember in my one time in my entire life where moving didn't suck. Oh, excuse me. Lunch is coming back to haunt me. Yeah, that'd be interesting. I bought, I didn't have a modern game, like action game, and then we had, Jason Vey from Elf Lair Games on the Tuesday night show, and, I didn't know at the time until we had him on that he actually worked on the official Buffy the Vampire Slayer RPG back in the day. And I was a huge Buffy fan. Like I liked that show. I still like that show, honestly. And when I was when that was on, that show was very like influential on how I organized and set up my games. It became more like episodic and like that. So I really liked it. And so he has a game called Night Shift that was basically him and another guy that worked on the Buffy role playing game. After that was no longer available, decided to kind of see if they could do the same type of game with BX. So I picked that up from him right after we had him. I probably ordered it that night or the next day, and then he was at CNY this year, and I was able to get the few other things that he has for that game at the con. One of the other things I picked up was his game 13 Parsecs, which is the same exact system that he uses for Night Shift, but it's a sci-fi. It's like a generic sci-fi game, which I didn't have a generic sci-fi game. All my sci-fi games were very IP oriented, like Star Wars or Aliens or something like that. So I didn't have that. So I was like, oh, so I got that. And I haven't played them yet, but they do look good. Do this one. I'm still waiting for these two to dry. This is getting there. Well, you know, making some progress. I do have to go over that green stuff again, but I'll wait. I'll go back to this. Oh, I already poured that out. Let's not get excited. Let's not get too excited. Oh, let's get this guy out of here. He's part of my, those three miniatures up there for my different games worth of terrain. So once that's cleared up after this weekend, I want to start playing the actual campaign myself solo, so I can get a feel for the rules and everything, and then collaborate more with Roger on our thing at CNY. But that's my ranger and his companions up there. So, whoa, shite. It definitely was super super bear to deal with. Like, it just was very unfun. And I'm not blaming just 5e for that, because I ran high level 3rd edition and it was the exact same way. I really think like most D&D style games break down at higher levels. They're just not designed well enough for it. I would be interested to see like I thought CNC would be, but as written, I don't think it is. Not the way the saving throws and stuff work. Some people will disagree with me, but our experience has been, that's why I changed the rules I use for saving throws, because the non-prime saves are nearly unpassable at higher levels. You never really get better at them because of adding level. So not a big fan of that. It's one of the things I changed in our campaign. But so I don't know how like a true 1E game was. So if we took like Adventurers Dark and Deep and ran that to higher levels, how would that be? You know, I don't know how much higher people will go in the CNC game, because there is this hefty XP requirement. Cosmo, our rogue, our halfling rogue, is the most likely one to reach higher levels. He's actually the highest level party member now at 10th level. And everybody else is active players are trailing behind him by a level or two. Well, that's understandable. It definitely is a time investment, I think, to do it good job, you know. Yep, they do. It's weird too, like playing Dragon Slayer. I'm playing a cleric, and I actually pulled ahead. They have a lower. I mean, it's kind of evening out now. I'm 4th level. It's kind of evening out now, but like my initial threshold was really low. Not as low as the thief, but still low, which was good for me. But like Rooster's playing a barbarian, and our other player Zephyr for that game, he's playing the ranger. So they're both a level. I think they're 3rd level, both of them. But it took them a while to get there. Especially the barbarian. The barbarian needed a fair amount, but they always did. When they first got introduced, they had a pretty hefty XP requirement back in AD&D, but they also had a lot of kind of cool benefits too. I know some people don't like the. Yeah, exactly. I like we've had rogues in Dragon Slayer, and it uses the old percentile system. I actually do like the alternate system from OSC that is the D6 roll, and Hyperborea is that way too. It has like, I don't think it's not a D6, but it's a dice roll. It's not a percentile dice roll. I kind of like that, but I did play a rogue in a one shot in Dragon Slayer at OSR Con, and I had fun. It was fun to play. But we currently don't have one in our campaign, but we only got 3 players, so we're doing the best we can. We actually have some really cool, I think, this adventure's winding down. Like, it'll probably be done tonight, if not tonight, next week. And I'm gonna miss playing these guys for a while. Like, not only do I like my character, but I like Rooster's character. I like Zephyr's character. Yeah, James, D12 and Hyperborea. I like that method a lot. I like that a lot. Actually, I haven't found anything about Hyperborea I don't like. I like the setting. I like the character classes. I like the monsters, the mechanics. I was telling at OSRCon, I played in a game of Hyperborea run by Talanian, and we were on a break, and him and I and another player were out at the bar grabbing a drink, and I was telling him because I can't remember what something came up. Oh, like he was explaining something setting wise to us, and there was a Sethakwa. I didn't realize Sethakwa was like the primary god worshipped in Hyperborea. Like there's a bunch of them, but like that one's like the most frequently worshipped. And I got talking to Jeff about it, and I was like, "Oh, I didn't know that. That's pretty cool, to learn that little nugget of information." And I said, one of the things I told him, I said, the reason Hyperborea is so good is he kind of hit it a home run on both parts. Yeah, no, I agree, Paul. He hit it on both parts with Hyperborea. Like the mechanics are super sound for Hyperborea. Really good mechanical system. Mechanically, it's great. And then the setting is just awesome. Like I love the weirdness, in the mix of like a little bit of like science fiction, and you can do that as much or as little as you want in your games. But I really kind of like it. Like I really like that strangeness, and it harkens back to when Rooster and I were playing our first Call of Cthulhu stuff, and not knowing, like, I don't know what all the monsters do because I don't know what all of them are, and there's some crossover from like regular D&D with Hyperborea as far as like monsters go, but then there's stuff that's, you have the whole like Cthulhu mythos stuff, and there's a much more emphasis on more natural monsters, but maybe on a bigger scale, giant lizards and stuff like that are tough, and yeah, it's just really great. It's really great. I'm hoping we can. I know some of the guys in my group want to play it, and I've wanted to run it for a while. I've only run it once, but I've played it like. That's a sure sign for me. I've only played Hyperborea like 3 times as a player, and I've ran it once as a GM, and I love it. Like I think it's great. I like how he did all the classes, so there's no need to multi-class because there's no multi-classing period. But you don't need to, because if you can't find, there's right now currently, I think 26, and James can correct me if I'm wrong. I think there's 26 classes. Like if you can't find something to play to fit your idea, that's a you problem, not a game problem. Yeah, and I don't mind. I've played rogues with the percentile system. I don't mind it. But I do prefer, and I think with the OSE method, you could actually kind of like specialize a little bit. So like if you wanted to be really good at picking pockets, but maybe you aren't so good at, opening locks, you could do that. You could relegate where you put your points or whatever. I'd have to read it. It's been a while since I've read it. I've never played it, but I kind of like how it shakes out. And again, I've played Hyperborea, and I do like how it uses like a D12 for the very same way, like purpose, just check. I think that's really good. Am I gonna want to do that? Probably not. Yes. Yep, I agree. And then, but it's great because of the way the game is set up. Like my friend there, DM Bloodworth, he's running stuff at cons, and he's basically running Conan adventures, and he's using Hyperborea, and he's just altering them a little bit. I'm interested to see how that shakes out. He did it. I'm pretty sure he ran it at CNY, and I know he's running 2 sessions of it at ShireCon coming up next month. Yeah, Jeff's a good guy. He's always, if you follow him on Facebook or the Hyperboard page, he's always posting like book recommendations, and I can tell you, he's gotten me to buy more than a few books. Like I'll see something, I'm like, oh, that looks really cool, and I'll have to snag it up. I'm actually currently reading um, the complete works of Hawkmoon because he mentioned it one time. I've had the book. I had it before he mentioned it, but he said that it was because of its mix of science and fantasy. It was a really big influence on Hyperborea, probably more so than like the Elric books were. Like the Elric obviously were, but the Hawkmoon was probably even more so, I guess. So I was like, oh, well, now I got to read them. So I was in between books. So I started reading it. I'm a slow reader, though. I get too distracted. I usually listen to more books than I actually read because it was a habit I had from work when I was working. I'd listen to a lot of books when I was working because I drove around most of the day. So I had the luxury of doing that. A lot of times that's what I'm doing when I'm painting, as I'm listening to either a YouTube video or listening to an audio book. I like all that weird science stuff. It's good. I probably wouldn't have liked it as much as a kid. I was more of a purist with the fantasy, whatever it was. But now as an adult, I like that difference, you know. Like you can throw a little curve at your players. I haven't done it in my home game at all, but doesn't mean I haven't thought of it. Yeah, yeah. One of the books Jeff recommended, and I saw it on Shadow and Son's channel too, was he had the DC Comics Warlord Omnibus. And then Jeff posted something about it. I'm like, all right, I was on the fence. Now I'm going to get it. It was on sale, like half off, which was good because they're not cheap books. I freaking order the thing, and the Postal Service loses it somewhere between Mass and Maine, just disappears. So I haven't reordered it yet, but I was kind of bummed out about that. And then I get a message from the lady that does my business cards and stickers and stuff for my Troll Den painting, and she messages me asking me how I like the new cards and the stickers, and I'm like, oh, they're great. And she's like, oh, I haven't got the payment yet. The check hasn't come. And I'm like, I literally mailed that out no later than the 3rd of this month. I'm like, you should have had that a while ago. So I check, hasn't been cashed, so we're kind of in a waiting game to see if it shows up because she has just as shitty luck with the Postal Service as I do. So hopefully it's just delayed. She just recently moved, so pain in the ass. We got to get linked up on some sort of online payment system so I don't have to deal with them. And Rooster can attest, I have numerous issues with the Postal Service with orders and purchases. More so than I think the average person does. So I got this one. These are, so I had two from Oh, I take that back. Actually, I got 3 that are different than these oak trees. I got this guy here. If I can get a light picture of that. I got this guy here. This is also from Printable Scenery. These are part of a set. As a matter of fact, there's a third one here somewhere. Ah, right here. Ah! Jesus. Knocking stuff over. Thankfully, it's tough. What is this? Oh, damn cats. So this one, another one that's kind of knocked down. These were part of the Ramshackle campaign on printable scenery. So I just wanted some different variants again, trying to get ground cover and line of sight issues. Apparently I didn't dry brush an entire area. Put that down. Yeah, so just trying to make the board as interesting looking as possible. With, you know, a lot of cool terrain. Because part of it, in my brain anyway, is like, especially at a convention, but I do this in my home games, when I put the time to put like a decent amount of terrain on the table. I like that wow factor you can get from players. So like at the con, my thought is I want everybody like that's playing to be like, wow, look at this. This is great. You know, that's part of the juice for me as a game master and a guy that uses terrain and miniatures. But I also want people that are just walking by, you know, that aren't in that game, but to see it, like for them to catch their eye. And then I want, you know, if I can get them to be like, oh, dang, I wish I had signed up for that game, you know. So that's just kind of where I'm at. That's how I look at terrain. All right, so I'll put those aside for now. Then I think I can go back to my original 2. Here's this. And do the rest of the rocks. Yeah, I got oh god. There's actually some files that I have for, it's not really a swamp, so I haven't used them yet. But there are some like little portable excuse me, swamp pools and stuff like that that I do have access to. And I will likely at some point print just to have. I like to have my environments covered as far as options, you know. Oops, that's not what I wanted to fucking do. There's some gaps, you know. I don't have a lot of winter stuff. I have some, but not a whole bunch. I mean, if I was being honest, I probably could have got away with not really printing any of these trees, but I kind of like them. I kind of like it. I have a bunch of Monster Fight Club trees that are great, and they'd probably be perfect for the con, but I don't know. I saw these and I was like, oh, I'll get these and print them. And that is a problem I have, is I will, instead of relying on pretty good collection of terrain and miniatures that I already own, when I need something, I'll look for something new instead of sometimes using what I have. But these won't go to waste. We'll use these. The Monster Fight Club ones are nice. They're all plastic. These will have actual like flocking and stuff on them, so that I think they'll look really good. Those other ones are probably perfect for like a con game where you can just bounce them around and not really worry about them too much. The flocking stuff is nice, but it is fragile. It can be fragile. Although I did see a video. I'd have to try to hunt it up now, but I saw a video where a guy basically flocked a tree and then he used some method and he was like, this stuff, it won't come off. Like I don't know what he coated it in, but I don't know. It was pretty durable. Nope. But yeah, so hopefully it'll go over well. Like I said, I gotta work out the river, and in my head I've been working it out. I got a good idea how I'm gonna do it, but I think I'm gonna wait and I'm gonna wait and get the stuff that I've been making all painted, and then do the river last. Because that will, as of right now, that will probably take the most time. Because I'm mostly will be handmade. I haven't seen your comments, Richard. I don't know why you would be blocked. You'd be like one of the last people I would ever block. That's interesting. How can I check that? Anybody know how you can check and see if someone's blocked? Yeah, your comments are not going through. That is weird. Oh, that sounds cool. Yep. I agree, Paul. I agree. I like drawing maps. I stink at it, but I like drawing them. I just get frigged up with go into settings in chat menu and change top messages to all messages. Chat top message. Oh, okay. All messages. Yeah, now I got you, Dean Bloodworth. I just see your comments. That's weird. Why would... Oh, nice. We're playing together in Rob Conley's game. That's awesome. That's awesome. I'm looking forward to that. I have never played with Rob. I like his work. I have his book Black Marsh and How to Make Sandbox Settings, and it's really good. I bought those at ShireCon my first year, and I read Black Marsh cover to cover when I got home. It's not a big book, but it's be a great place to, another setting book that's like, oh wow, I could drop this or run games here. It's great. Oh, that's good to know. Thanks, Shellback. Oh, hold on. Let me check. I'll be right back. I have it. It came. So sweet. Oh, I should have freaking brought a knife. I will open that up in a second. Hey, D&D and Dad. Nice. It is. They crammed it in my mailbox is like a plastic mailbox. And I noticed the other day when I was out there that it's like freaking warped because they keep jamming like oversized boxes into it because they don't want to get out and put them on my steps. So I'm probably gonna have to get a new mailbox at some point. But no, that's cool. I'll crack that open here in a second. do a little live unboxing of the stuff that DM Bloodworth sent me. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it. And it doesn't help that I, am not super experienced with live streams and stuff. I mean, I do one every week, but I'm on it. I'm not doing anything technical, and I'm like, it doesn't makes even less sense to me. I'm a kind of a tech, not a tech guy by any stretch of the imagination. That's why I've been so happy with the 3D male mimic. Yeah, definitely need something bigger between the stuff I get, the stuff my wife gets, and then my son. He's only here for a little bit longer. He's actually going back to college here in a week or so. So we'll still get his mail, but so actually I guess it won't go down. So between the three of us, there's a fair amount of packages arriving here on a regular basis. I have something sharp to open that with. Oh, here we go. Here we go. When in doubt, Emperor's Choice Conan sword. There we go. Kind of bummed I didn't get both of them. I wish I had now. Hopefully they get some more of them. There we go. Making some progress. Pretty good. Yeah, hopefully Jeff comes out with some more Hyperborea shirts and stuff. I have his Sophocles Woe shirt, and I actually get a fair amount of comments on that shirt from people I would never expect. I was checking out of a doctor's appointment one day, and I was sitting with this woman. She's probably not old enough to be my mom, but she was older than me. I mean, I'm in my mid-50s. And she's like, "What's that shirt about?" And I told her. And then it worked pretty good, actually. Even with all the tape Bloodworth had on this to keep it intact. But she asked me, then I got talking to her, and she's like a huge fantasy fan. She was like right into it. Like I was telling her like the inspiration for the setting and all that stuff, and she was right into it. All right, let's see what DM Bloodworth sent me. Oh, geez. We'll save that one for last because it looks really cool. Okay. Aha. All right. Oh, here we go. We've got a couple in this package. So we have, well, we'll have the man of the hour. Yeah, I have the small keychain version of that one. I didn't get the Conan's Father's one. I don't know why. I wish I had, because I really like that one. So we have Valeria. That looks like a good sculpt too. I like it. And we have Conan himself with a sword. Another good sculpt. I like that. And this. Oh. I don't know who some of these guys are, but we'll figure it out. Let's these guys, I don't know, they look like they're, whoa, definitely monsters and cultists. Tessella? that right? She looks like, or she reminds me of a figure that it's not the same character, but in the Conan line from the McFarlane Toys, there was a female kind of in that same pose. This dude, let's see, Tolkamek. Get him painted. And who's this guy? He looks important. Olmec. Olmec. You know what this is going to do, Bloodworth, is I'm going to now go back and reread Red Nails because it's been a long time since I've read it. So I think I'm going to go back and reread it. That will help me. These look like good miniatures, though. I'm happy with that, for sure, because there's a lot of times people send me stuff to paint for them, and I'll paint it, but sometimes the miniature itself is just not a great miniature, so it's really hard to, you really got to work to make them look good, and obviously that's the goal. Like, I want everybody that sends me something to be happy with the end result, and they have been. I haven't had any dissatisfied people yet, so that's great. But, like, it's just sometimes like, man, this thing would be so much better if it was a better miniature. Oh, look at this freaking dude. What is this guy called? The Crawler. I like it. And then the Pillar of Red Nails. And then, last but not least, this bad boy. Holy smokes. Look at this thing. That is a cool looking miniature. Clean that up a little bit. That is a cool looking miniature. Yeah, send me ones, especially to this guy in the Crawler, Bloodworth. Whenever you get a chance. Like I said, there's a little spot where they put them together here on the tail. I'm going to try to fix that so it's a little more seamless. And then, yeah, this guy looks like he's going to be a lot of fun. If people are looking for miniatures and the board games out there now, man, there's some awesome miniatures you can get in board games. Yeah, that'll be great. That's perfect, by the way. Like I bought when Dragonbane announced that they were going to do Trudvang. I went to my I got a hold of my FLGS. A good friend of mine owns it, and they had the entire because it was a Trudvang that wasn't attached to Free League or anything. It was a Trudvang game. It was a miniatures game. They actually had a 5e role-playing aspect. It didn't do very well at all. But they had the entire Kickstarter with all, I just wanted the miniatures. I almost backed it when it came out because I just liked the miniatures. But again, I was like, I just don't need to add to it. But then when Dragonbane announced that they were going to do Return to Trudvang, because Trudvang's an original setting for Dragonbane back in the day in Sweden. I was like, oh, well, now I got to get those. So I got all those miniatures, I bought all of them. I've been painting them here and there. I just finished one of the barbarian looking dudes the other day. I finished him. Oh, yeah, nice. Nice. There's more miniatures in that box? What the heck? I did not dig deep enough, apparently. Let me keep digging. Those guys. Oh, you are correct, sir. A whole other bag I didn't oh, here we go. Let's see who we got here. We got, oh, that guy's, I like that guy. Oh, that guy's cool too. So we have Scuthus, which is a really cool looking miniature. So this one, like this guy here, is going to be a player character for your game. And then you also have Zaporava? Ravo? Is that Poravo? Is it Poravo? Looks like a conquistador looking dude. Yeah, these are good. And then there's this guy. He looks like some sort of couple knives on him. Typical loincloth. And then you got this wizard looking dude. Priest and a fighter. Yep. Awesome. Now I think I got all of them now, I think. Oh, wait a minute. I could be mistaken. Yeah, I looked at those. This guy's pretty cool, though. Yeah, I only see that one area on it. Well, there's another one. We'll try to do something with those. Thin those, blend those in. Hopefully, I can blend those in a little bit. But yeah, overall, real good miniature. Not crazy with bad mold lines. That can be an issue. That's an issue with like a bigger issue I've found with like WizKid miniatures. I hate their character miniatures. I'm not a fan. Their monster miniatures are. I like their monster miniatures for the most part. They're good represent. If you're playing D&D, they're great because they fit what you're pulling out of the books. Their character miniatures, I would go pretty much anywhere else for character miniatures because they're just very poor quality, in my opinion. But that'll be cool. I'll get started on cleaning those up and then get some primer on them and get started on getting them painted. Oops, I missed a big portion of that. Oh, I'm an idiot. Yeah, I have most of, and I should have the rest of it by this weekend. Like the Cthulhu Death May Die miniatures by Simon Games. Those the game itself is actually really good. Like I've played the game a bunch, and it's a really good game. But the miniatures are awesome. So like if you need Cthulhu themed monsters and stuff, look no further than that. Those games. And I've painted some of them, but I could definitely see using them in like Hyperborea games and even in like Adventures Dark and Deep if you're using that system, because if you get I think it's called Swords of Cthulhu, it has all that stuff in it, which is an extra book that is part of the Adventure Dark and Deep cycle. I picked up a copy at CNY actually this year. I picked up that book and the Swords of Wuxia, which is another Adventures Dark and Deep book. It's basically Joe's version of Oriental Adventures, except it's based on China instead of Japan. Hey, no problem, Bloodworth. Thanks for stopping by. Sorry for the tech confusion, and thanks for the package. I'll be in touch. What was I doing? Jesus, losing my mind. Oh, there it is. Jeez. Yeah, I mean, it's weird. Like, It was kind of surreal going to the first CNY. I painted some stuff for them. No, I didn't. Not the first one. I left with painting some stuff for them. Thanks, Edra. But like at the con, like I went there, I just played games. Me and my cousin went and played games, played with Bloodworth, and but I had people coming up to me that were like, "Oh, you know, you know people from online and stuff, and sometimes you don't even know their real name." And like my friend Jason, we had been on the same Discord server and stuff, communicated, but I didn't realize, it was Jason or whatever. So he came up and we were talking, and I do the Tuesday night. He's one of the guys on the Tuesday night podcast stream, and he's like, "Oh, you say CK Stan," and that's my Discord handle, and I'm like, "Yeah," and he's like, "Oh, I'm so and so," and I was like, "Oh, wow," and I had other people come up and be like, "Oh, I've been following your stuff for years," and I post stuff on social media, Facebook and Instagram, YouTube, but it's kind of sometimes up until the last year or so, it's been kind of almost a fire and forget. I like to get comments and likes, of course, who doesn't? And I like interacting with that stuff, but it was just to put my stuff up, but I didn't really think I was like, people were following it, like I had a guy come up to me and he's like, "Hey, I've been following your stuff for years," or I was sitting down at ShireCon last year, and I played in, I think it was in Bloodworth's game. One of the guys I played with, Chthonic Musing, we were talking after the game, and we got on the topic of Dragonbane. And I said, "Yeah, I ran this adventure, Shadows over Gloomshire." And he was like, "Yeah." He goes, "I watched all your recaps." And I was like, in my brain, I was like, how the hell do you even know who I was? Like, I didn't, horrible about introducing myself, just start jabbering away at people. And I was like, how the hell did you even know who I was? Then later on, we sat down together. We were having a drink and stuff with some other people. And we got talking. I figured out who he was. And I was like, oh, that's how, because we've been in chats together online. It's weird, like it was just really weird. It still is. It's still very weird. I mean, because I'm just like a dude from Maine that paints stuff, so I don't think too much about it, I guess. Let's see. Now I got another task to do, which is a good one. Like, I'm glad that package made it. I will get started on it. Those miniatures look like they're actually going to be fun to paint. I'll paint anything pretty much within reason, but I will say there are commissions that I get that are sometimes not a lot of fun to do, just because the miniatures themselves are problematic or it's just not fun. I'm doing a project right now, actually, as a gift to my father-in-law, and I told my wife the other day. She asked me, she was at work, she sent me a message, we were chatting, and she was like asking how it was going, and I was like, yeah, I was just working on it, doing some stuff, and I'm like, it will probably go down as my least favorite painting project to date that I've ever done for somebody else. Like, it's, in general, like it's just big, kind of this big decoration thing. It's like a skeletal dragon, and I just wanted to see if we could make it look better. So I've been working on that, and it's just been tough. I got to finish it though, because I want to get it off my plate. All right, let's throw some more paint on that. We'll just throw a wash on that later, and whoops. Try to make it look good. But yeah, good enough for now. I'm almost famous, Agile. It's crazy. It is. Yeah, I don't think I haven't looked. Bloodworth has shown me some of the miniatures from this line, mostly the ones that he sent me. I haven't looked at the rest of them. I know Cthulhu Death May Die has a Sophocla miniature, and it's in the one box season that I don't have yet, but I will be rectifying that on Saturday when I go over to my local game store. I'm going to get that copy. Same here, same to you, Agile. I appreciate it. You've always been a really good supporter of me and the channel. And I mean, I have a tiny channel. I'm really appreciative of everybody that takes the time to comment on stuff and takes the time to watch the videos I put up. I mean, I'm not a professional video guy, so it's just me off the cuff running off my in-game notes, but I really appreciate it. And Shellback, you are right. Cthulhu Death May Die is an amazing game to play. It took a little bit to get used to it because I played a lot of Cthulhu, so it's like in Cthulhu, regular Cthulhu, you are trying to stave off madness as long as you can, and with Cthulhu Death May Die, you got to kind of accept it, but kind of gauge it so you don't get too off the handle too soon. Great game, great game. Thanks, Agile. I appreciate that a lot. You've always left me some really nice comments, and again, I appreciate the support. Trying to, I mean, I'm not looking to, go, it'll never be, some crazy 100K channel or anything, but I get people coming in and talking and, oh yeah, there's a ton of really great characters for that game. And they all can do like really cool, unique stuff. Like I played one guy, he basically could draw minions and they couldn't touch him. Like eventually he, you get him powered up enough where, you go into a room, leave the room, and you drag all those minions. So I could drag all the minions away from the rest of my players, and they would just have to deal with, the bigger bads and stuff, but they wouldn't have to worry about those guys, and they couldn't hurt me. I don't remember which one that guy is, but yeah, that's a really cool game. That's a really cool game. I don't have a lot of board game experience. Basically, I have 2 board games that I think are really cool. And the first one is Warhammer Quest 1995 version, and then Cthulhu Death May Die. I always try to play, every time I play, I try to play a different character. I don't play the same one. I don't think I've ever played the same one. Maybe if we like fail a scenario, then just restart it immediately, I'll play the same character. But when we start off, I try to always pick a different character just because I want to check them out, see how that shakes out. I haven't been disappointed in any of the ones I've played either. They've all been a lot of fun. Yeah, I haven't played it in a while. Like my friend that owns the FLGS, I was in a gaming group with him and some other people, and we used to play Friday nights, and then we would play Death May Die sometimes if we didn't have like a full group. That would be kind of a go-to game, and he loves that game, and to the point where like he will come and teach anybody how to play it, like because he loves that game so much. And we started playing. I really got into it, and started picking up the box sets to get the miniatures, and because the miniatures are super cool. Yeah, I don't know if I've used any of them in a role-playing game yet. I have. I used them in a game. I used some of the deep ones one time in a game I was running for one session or a couple sessions. Players had no idea what was going on with that. Jesus, did I miss that whole section? I did. God. Nothing worse than realizing you missed a large swath of a piece of terrain that you thought was pretty much done painting. Well, let's do that painting. There we go. Good enough. Bam! Dungeon Twister. I've never heard of that. No. Yes. Yeah, I haven't played. Whoops, I haven't played a lot of board games. I mean, I played some board games when I was a kid, obviously, but as an adult, I didn't really play a lot. Then played a little bit of Warhammer Quest, the 1995 version, which I still have. I like that game. I'd love to get that game going on a regular basis, and then with all new miniatures and terrain for it. That's a bucket list goal that I don't know if I'll ever get around to doing, but like my dare to dream, I guess I'll someday have a table full of that. I regret not buying more stuff for that when it was available. I had the base game and a couple extra characters, and that's it. I don't know what that game is, Shellback. Yeah, it really was. It was a great game. I was really, to be honest, and I'm not a GW hater, but I was really disappointed when the new version of Warhammer Quest came out and it was not that. You know, I mean, it's probably a good game. Some of the miniatures are really good. I have some of the miniatures and box sets for it, but yeah, I was hoping vainly that we would see Warhammer Quest 85 come out because you could literally turn that into a role-playing game. It had the rules for it right in there to make it a role-playing game. I thought it was great. Probably played Risk. I don't think. Maybe I played Axis and Allies. I know I played Risk when I was a kid. You know, and then the standards like Monopoly and all that stuff. But and they were fine. They were fine. Trouble I had with Warhammer Quest was I could never find people that would play it with me. My son liked to play it, and it was on me. I should have pushed it more for us, but I didn't, and I wish I had. I enjoyed it. I'd like to actually. One of the reasons I'm excited about Rangers of Shadowdeep is I'd like to get into more of miniature gaming. I mean, I have tons of stuff, you know, obviously, and I don't really do any pure like miniature games. I've played one session of Necromunda at my FLGS. They play it on like Saturday, like one Saturday a month or something. And I really like Necromunda. I love the setting of Necromunda, everything. And it just Saturday's a tough day for me because that's usually when I'm playing role playing games, either running them or playing in them. So it's a tough day for me to get in there and play. I was just talking to the guy that runs it just the other day. I was actually working at the FLGS and talking to him because the new Necromunda stuff's coming out. It is out now. I saw it yesterday when I was in there. Great guy, super patient, teaching dum-dum like me how to play. I love it. Like I love to play a role-playing game based around Necromunda. Like I like the Warhammer setting anyway, the old world and the 40K stuff. So we're getting somewhere, making some progress. I think I got, wow, I got like 3 unpainted trees. That's not bad. That's not bad. Yeah, Frostgrave. I have some of the Frostgrave books. They're just wicked cool. Like, again, it goes back to the setting book thing, I think. I like them. I'm actually going to look for some this weekend at my game store because they're having their anniversary sale. So they'll be pulling all their back stock out and stuff. So stuff that isn't commonly on the shelves. Because they had some Frostgrave stuff on the shelf a few weeks ago. When I looked recently, it wasn't there. So either they sold it, which is good for them, or they put it in the back stock. Just like I think they sold a copy of the Hyperborea Player's Manual. I wanted to like track that person down and be like, do you want to play some Hyperborea? Because that's a great game. Yeah, I'm making some progress. Making some progress. Oh, God, my neck. I am probably going to need more trees, though, I think. I don't know. I got to lay this board out to get a better idea. Once my gaming table's cleaned off, I have a 4x6 battle mat that's on the table pretty much all the time anyway. Perfect for this. Once I lay it out, I'll be able to lay out the terrain, but I want to fill that. I just want to fill that. Like, I want to put on a big show. I obviously want the group to do well. I want, the group playing, I want them to have a good time and really enjoy the terrain and the game itself. And then also want to do a really good job with this stuff for Rogers Convention, the CNY. It's a freaking blast. I guess the only way I could put Rogers Convention into perspective, at least in my head, was, so this year I went as a vendor. I was invited to come as a vendor, and I did that, and it was fun. And my son came with me to help me, and he had never been to a convention before, and he and I just ran our table for the weekend. We didn't play in any games, and we had a blast. It was awesome. Like, we just had so much fun. We were next to my friend Mike from Thunderstruck Workshop, and we just hung out with him and his daughter, and other vendors and customers and special guests. And it's just a great, if you can make it to CNY, you owe it to yourself to go if you can get there. It's just a great time. Everybody's treated equally. I know that can be a thing at some cons where there's almost like a unspoken tier system. That doesn't exist at CNY. It's a blast. Like, we just, Roger wants everybody to have fun. He's, he puts a lot of time and effort into it. Oh, crap. I'm going to have to cut this short because my filament just ran out on my print. So I'm going to call it there, folks. That was about a little over 2 hours. Hey, I appreciate everybody stopping in and chatting with me. It's funny to see the difference when I did these when my channel was a little bit younger. Not that it's big now. I got like 532 subscribers, which I appreciate every one of you. But now, like this, it's been a lot of fun. I will do this on a more regular basis. But I got to go and fix my printer so I can finish printing this print. And so I have more stuff to paint, right? Hey, thanks, everybody. Really appreciate it. I'll catch y'all later.